So, you want to learn how to play Byrd Joel from Red House Painters. You're in for a treat. I'm going to teach you how to play it today. I have searched the internet far and wide. I have never seen anyone ever cover this song correctly. In fact, there are published versions on YouTube and Spotify from bands that just play wrong random chords. They just play. Obviously that's not right, so let's get into this and see if we can figure out what some of these chords are. I'm first going to direct your attention to the headstock here, or the neck. It's going to be in standard tuning with the capo on 2nd fret. There are a few chords in this song, not a lot, but the ones that stand out are kind of tricky to play, so we're going to start with D sus. If you play from the 4th string, the D string, and you just play O, 2, 3, O. That's the general shape that you're playing on the top. But you're going to hook your thumb over, and you're actually going to do a not quite muted, but also not quite played. There's a little F sharp at the bottom there. So it's actually D sus / F sharp. And the tab that I posted on Ultimate Guitar has that corrected with that low string. A lot of people don't know to play that. You have to listen pretty carefully with headphones to be able to even make out that note. But if you hear at the beginning, you'll hear this low F sharp that immediately gets taken off like. It's almost like a rhythmic effect that's added instead of anything else. Right after that, we have one of the hardest things to play in the song, actually, which is a little double-strummed affect where you go from A to G and then an F sharp on the D string. So you're going to be playing 2 on 3rd string, open 3rd, then 4 on 4th. It takes a long time to practice that and get that part figured out. So you're going to need to work on that quite a bit. Once you can get that played, the rest of the song is generally not that hard. There's just a couple weird chords here and there, but nothing crazy. Especially the chord that's between verses and before the chorus. This funky... That's probably the only other difficult thing you have to actually play in this song. So get the first chord figured out and get the little part figured out, and you should be good to go. So play that, D sus. Next chord is a G/B. You're going to keep that 3rd finger on like you were playing for the D sus chord. Add your pinky on top of it on a high G, 1st string, 3rd fret. And your 1st finger, which was playing A before on the 3rd string, it's going to jump down to the 5th string. Same fret, 2nd fret, low B. And you're going to want to cheat the finger to mute the E string, so the full chord just rings as. So you're going from to that chord. And we'll go right back to the D sus after that. And between D sus and G/B, sometimes you'll have a little bit of this action going on with your 2nd finger playing on the 2nd string, E, F sharp, G. Things like that. It's a little melodic affect. It's not played all the time, but it's played often. Right here. You'll notice right there I actually went from the G/B back to a D chord, a proper full triangle, then to that. The last chord, there's 2 more chords actually in the verse. This next chord is the exact same fingering as G/B, but instead of cheating off that 6th string. Now you're actually going to go the opposite way and you're going to cheat the D string. So you'll have 2 open strings, or the open E on the bottom, B, no string there on the 4th string, and then so kind of like a cowboy E minor 7 chord, pretty common voicing. So you'll notice if I keep that first finger like this versus it changes the chord. This way the low E is playing, and then this way the D is playing instead. So they're almost the same chord, but you have to be very careful about that, especially when you get to that part. So everything so far. This last chord is weird. It's, I guess, a D sus or an A sus chord of some kind. You're going to go to this voicing, the little 2-finger voicing for D sus. Making sure to ring the A string on the bottom. And you want to be muting that low string so that you don't play it on accident. And you're just going to take your first finger off and play open G. So you kind of end up with, I don't know, you can call it A sus, A7 sus. You can call it, it's kind of like a, I don't know, a weird chord. It doesn't really mean anything harmonically. I guess it's a dominant chord, but it's weird. And after that, it just goes back to that first D sus chord that has the thumb over F sharp. So. That's where he comes in with My Baby Sleeps in Blue. If you go on my Ultimate Guitar tab for this, I have the lyrics that are totally accurate according to the actual book. I have his lyric book, so I have to imagine that the guy who wrote the song knows the words. There's a few weird versions of lyrics out there. But that's the case with a lot of the old Red House Painter songs. People seem to have a hard time remembering or figuring out what Mark's singing in a couple places because he kind of got mumbly here and there. But anyway, the next part we have is this transition chord, which I don't know what to call it other than a G major sharp 11 or something, or G major 11, G major 13. It's kind of like a crazy chord. So the easiest way of thinking of getting to it is you have that little A sus transition chord. You're going to go to G, cheating on the A string so it doesn't ring, and you end up with an open G, D at the bottom. Like that. Kind of like a G power chord. And then your F sharp is going to be played with your pinky on the 4th string, right there. And you end up with this chord. Very challenging chord to play. So it's 3, X, 4, O, 3, O. And if you listen to the recording carefully, he actually plays a little bit of an open A with the G at points too. So you might actually end up with something more like... If you come up with a better name for this chord, I'd love to hear it. It's a crazy little chord, but it's great. After you play this, you're going to go to the chorus. Chorus is pretty straightforward. A lot of chords that are borrowed from the verse. A couple new ones. Some rhythmic stuff going on, nothing major. So we'll start with A sus. Regular old A sus, the same chord you've always heard in your whole life. So I don't typically play it with the low E string. I'll use my thumb to mute the low E string. So you end up with A, E, A, B, E. Doesn't really matter too much which fingering you use. 1, 2 might be better than 2, 3. Anyway, you go from here to G6/B is what I call it, which is basically just the G/B chord from before, but without the pinky. So you keep that E string rung open. And what you'll notice is that a lot of the chords, like the progressions that you play in the verse, are the same as in the chorus, but you're going to keep the E string open the whole time. So you're not going to hear this. You're just going to hear just the open E string the whole time. So you'll go from the B string and then back to that old chord, D sus/F sharp. So open E, A sus again, E minor 7, like before, kind of. I like to play it 1, 2, and third finger on the D, just to keep that continuity. So it's a lot like the E minor 7 that you play in the verse, except, again, no pinky, of course. Second finger is coming in right here, playing the E. And after this, don't go away, come, where he says come is where you play a G chord, with the open E string on top, so it's G6, and then back again, that part right there, you're going to play a regular, traditional A7 chord. 2 is going to be on 4th string, 2nd fret, and then 3 is going to be on 2nd string, 2nd fret, and right after that, back again, you're going to slide that third finger up to D. So, don't go away, come back again, like that. Have to take some time with that, practice the rhythm. That's not too much work. When you're trying to sing along with it, it can be kind of tricky getting the timing down right for those transitions, but you figure it out pretty quick. I'd say if you've made it that far into the song and you've got the verse mostly figured out, the chorus is pretty easy. The verse is the part that's probably gonna get most people for quite a while. That's pretty much the whole song. I'll play it through from the beginning so you can see it in context. Move my phone slightly so you can see my... There we go. Fretboard better. 2, 3... Nervous energy, I guess. I made a couple mistakes in that playthrough, but hopefully you got the context. Yeah, it's a wonderful song. Took me quite a while to figure out, again, because there's not really any resources online for figuring this song out correctly. So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. Otherwise, have a great day. Let me know if there's any other Red House Painters, Sunkill Moon, Mark Kozlik, whatever. Any of those songs you want to learn, I'd be happy to make a video for you. See ya!